Hey guys, Theron Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight we're going to go back to the great state of Alabama, Roll Tide. We're going to talk to Mr. Ricky Murphy. Ricky got a top 5 finish last year at the BFL Choo Choo division on Lake Guntersville. That same tournament is coming up in a few weeks. Now, last year's tournament was a little later in the year, so this year it is a little bit earlier, but nonetheless, he did get a top 5 finish with what will kind of seem like the same tournament this year. So we're very excited to talk to Ricky. He's going to tell us a little bit more about Lake Guntersville and how well he predicts the tournament to come out on Lake Guntersville this year. Before we get started, as always, Revital Outdoors is very excited to announce we are doing a $2,500 giveaway. That lucky angler that will win $2,500 from Revital Outdoors, it's a great package, will be selected at the end of the year. So you see this banner scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead and click that link at the top of the description right below this video. That will take you to enter the end of the contest. It takes just 2 seconds to do that. So make sure you get entered in. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you get notified when all of our content is dropping. Also, check us out, Revital Outdoors, on Instagram and Facebook. If you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company. We offer premium CBD products to all the outdoor enthusiasts out there. Our products are THC-free, made right here in America. They're great for all the different ailments that outdoor enthusiasts endure out there on the water or in the field. So check them out. You can purchase them directly off our website. That's going to be www.revitaloutdoors.com. That being said, let's go ahead and bring him in. He's out on the water right now, pre-fishing for a tournament. Mr. Ricky Murphy, how you doing this evening, bud?
Good, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, Ricky, let's just get right into it. Looked up your resume on Lake Guntersville. You've got a really great resume on Guntersville. You seem to be a very consistent angler there. So what makes Guntersville so special? And, what are they kind of doing this time of year? There's a lot of attention on Lake Guntersville in the pre-spawn, early spring, but now we're getting into that kind of post-spawn area time of the year. So explain that to us a little bit.
Well, I like to fish shallow, and there's a lot of shallow water on Guntersville. And when they get ready to move out, the grass is not as thick right now as it can get. And I just when they move out closer to the river, they start hitting the secondary points and just start migrating back out. And but it's a shallow lake. I like to fish shallow, and it's got a lot of grass. So that's what I grew up fishing. So that's in my wheelhouse,
Absolutely, absolutely. So predominantly the fish you caught last year in your tournament were post-spawn fish.
Yes.
Okay.
I started that morning. I started out shallow, and then as it after lunch, I moved out a little deeper. 12 to 15 foot.
Okay. Are you throwing predominantly reaction baits and covering a lot of water? Or are you finding that one area that's got a good population of fish in practice and you just stay in there for the count? Or how do you like to fish Guntersville this time of year?
Well, I try to find what a lot of us call a milk run. I'll try to have 6 or 8 spots that I can find close together, so I can kind of move. If they start feeding, I'll stay put. But sometimes you just have to bounce around and hit. It's a timing thing sometimes, so you just got to be there at the right place at the right time.
Okay. In terms of last year, how many keepers did you catch?
Last year in the tournament,
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I'm thinking that was that a 3-fish tournament?
There's a 5-fish tournament.
It was a 5-fish tournament last year.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. They did one that was a 3-fish tournament, but I want to say I probably had 16, 17 keepers.
Okay.
So and my co-angler, the first spot that I stopped, I probably had 12. I was, the morning the shallow bite was on that morning, and so I was culling, and we sat in that one spot probably for 4 to 5 hours. So I didn't even get to hit all my spots that day. I only got to hit like 4 spots. So, but the first part of the day I stayed shallow, and then I started going deeper as the sun got up and the bite slowed down a little bit. But slow moving baits, I wasn't throwing anything fast. Cinco, Ned rig, and sometimes you can find some holes in that grass out, on the flats, and I'll throw a wacky rig a little bit.
Okay. So more finesse style fishing on Guntersville. You don't really
Yeah.
hear much of that, especially
Yeah.
you said the Ned rig. That's really on Guntersville. That's surprising to me.
Yeah, and it was surprising to me too, So I've always liked throwing bigger baits and faster moving stuff. Guntersville's known for throwing a 10-inch worm or a big, half ounce, 3/4 jig, and I just wanted to try something a little different, and it worked out. 10-pound, 12-pound line, loose drag, and just not horsing them in.
Right. What was the biggest fish you caught last year?
Last year at Guntersville, or I'm trying to think, man. I'd say probably 7 pounds.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and look. That finesse bite down there, I mean, it's just, I don't think a lot of people do it because the grass, it scares a lot of people because they're going to break off or lose the fish because of the light line. So, but I learned a couple of years ago down at Okeechobee. I was the same way. We was throwing 65-pound braid and wasn't getting any bites. So I was like, man, you got to get bit first. You get the fish on, then you worry about getting them in.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
So and then you can take that smaller stuff and go behind people too. If you're fishing a place where there's a lot of boats or something, sometimes you can go behind them and slow down and catch the fish that they missed. So,
right. In terms of what you're looking for on Guntersville in the post spawn, is there a specific, type of structure that anglers want to be looking at? Are they still, going to be kind of relating to spawning areas, but a little bit deeper out because those fish are moving, pushing back out? Or are they relating to the river channel? Or, for a new angler that's coming to Lake Guntersville in the month of May or June, where's a good starting spot?
Well, I think they need to kind of just idle around the backwater flats, on the back side of the channel,
mm-hmm.
and look for scattered grass, look for scattered eelgrass, shell beds, and I think that's where you'll find those fish at.
Okay. So, are they looking for bait? Are they related to bait that time of year? Or?
Yeah, they should be a shad spawn happening, in the next couple of weeks down there.
Okay.
So yeah, you should, if you can find a place that's not the grass is not too thick, you should be able to use something, some kind of reaction bait, chatterbait or a trap, something like that.
I got you. So one last question before I let you go: will the Alabama rig still be a factor in a tournament this late in the year?
I don't, man. That thing's always a factor. It seems like with the live scope and the forward facing sonar, these guys that get out there and practice with it and find those fish, and they can pinpoint them, and they can throw that rig out there and just put it right in front of them. It's just hard for those fish not to eat it as much. I don't think guys are throwing the rig as much, so it's kind of getting better. You don't hear I don't hear about it as much as I used to, but I feel like that rig's always a factor. I mean, I've caught them all year long on it. People say, well, it's got to be kind of cold water, but it just depends on if the fish are really active, they'll eat it. And those fish at Gunners they're eating right now. There's a lot of 3 and 4 pound fish being caught right now.
Absolutely. So, well, Ricky, I really appreciate you coming on to our podcast. Before we let you go, I know you got a lot of great family that supports you. You
Yes,
actually are the owner of a great guide service. I looked it up on Facebook. You do
yes,
a lot of fishing throughout the year. I think you're one of those anglers that's upwards of 200 plus tournament or 200 plus days on the water a year. So before we let you go, talk to us about your guide service and anybody you'd like to give a shout out to that helps you in your tournament career before we let you go.
Oh, yes, sir. Platinum Fishing Guides is just something that, we like to, or I like to do. It's I love to fish, whether we're brim fishing, catfishing, bass fishing. I love to fish, and I love to get out here and see people, have fun catching fish. And I got a young man right here beside me. I think he's taking a nap right now, but we started about 3 hours ago. Mason, Wake up, knucklehead.
There he is.
We started about 3 hours ago, and the first stop that we pulled up on, he had one on. He got him a new Ducket Jacob Wheeler rod for his birthday. Was your birthday today or yesterday? Oh, it's this coming Friday, so they got him a guide trip for his birthday. And the first fish he had on was probably a little over 4 pounds, and we got it right here beside the boat, and it came off. And but to see him get excited about fishing and to see that, that's why I do it. And even a 30-50 year old man, when they get a big fish on, to see the smile and how happy they are. I mean, you can't beat it. And then when a kid comes out here to do it, it's just something that the sport needs. We just, I love to see that. I love to see the smile on people's face, and that's why we do it. We don't. It ain't about the money or anything. It's just for the love of the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For all the parents out there, including yourself, Ricky, thank you for taking your kids fishing. Make sure you do it. My dad did it. He instilled the great outdoors in me from a very early age.
Yes,
it's
sir.
a great thing to get your kids involved in, and I can promise you, if they fall in love hunting and fishing, they damn sure won't have any money to get themselves in trouble. So
that's right. That's exactly right. So, but if I'd like to thank Revital Outdoors, Jack Bait and Tackle, Ducket Fishing, Columbia, PFG, Mercury, Costa, my family. Just it's something that, man, I love this stuff, man. I always have. And if you got just a minute, I'll share kind of my testimony a little bit with you.
Yeah, for sure.
All this COVID, stuff that we had a couple of years ago, it put me in the hospital for 6 days, and I didn't know if I would make it. It was to that point. And when you get in that situation, no matter what's going on in life, I mean, it's real. And I was one of the guys that, I didn't think that stuff was real, and it got a hold of me, and I was in the hospital. And to these guys out here that keep putting stuff off, not wanting to pursue their career fishing or anything in life that you want to go do, I encourage you to go out and do it. Because I laid there and I'm thinking to myself, man, there's a lot of things that I didn't get to do and pursue and do in life. And if I don't make it out of here, I'm not going to get to do it. So as soon, I got out of the hospital, and I'm like, man, I love to fish, and it is hard to be a professional fisherman on the pro tour. I mean, you have to put in a lot of time, a lot of work. I mean, there's so much work involved even in guiding. I mean, it's like, we have to do this every night. You have to prepare, do this stuff every night, get ready for the next day. It's almost like a tournament when you're out here guiding, because you want your clients to catch fish. And it's like putting together a new puzzle every day. The last few weeks, because it gets hot and then it gets cold, and then the wind's blowing 25 miles an hour, and then where you caught them yesterday, you don't catch them again. But if you go out there and just put your head down and grind it out, man, you'll be fine. But I encourage all these guys that maybe you're on the threshold of doing something good. I say, take that step and go do it. And but the Lord's really blessed me, and I thank Him for everything. So with that being said, just believe and trust in Him, and He'll take you where you want to go. So.
Absolutely. So, well, Ricky, really appreciate you sharing that with us. Great testimonial. Back up what he says. And you guys get out there, go fishing. Don't put anything off. There's no excuse for not getting out there and having some fun, taking your kids with you. So it's a great sport to get involved in, and that's why Revital Outdoors is proud to offer such a great product to help anglers out there stay out on the water and feel more comfortable doing that. So for all the listeners out there, again, you've been talking to Mr. Ricky Murphy. He got a top 5 finish last year at the Choo Choo Division BFL tournament on Lake Guntersville. So Ricky, thank you for sharing your insights. Everyone, please make sure you check out his website, his Facebook, his Instagram, and all of his social media. Check out his guide service if you're in the area or if you want to plan a trip to Lake Guntersville. He'll definitely hook you up. Before we let you go, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also make sure you see that rolling banner right below. That banner points down to a link at the top of the description right below this video. Get into that $2,500 giveaway. That lucky angler will be selected at the end of the year. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, again, I'm Theron Asbury. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. Be safe out there. God bless. And we'll talk to everyone very, very soon.